Hey guys, welcome back. Today we're gonna head out and check out a couple of trails. We're just kind of checking it out. I'm gonna be super chill. We just barely swapped the tires on the KLX 250S. We just barely got them off-road. They have about 5 miles on them. So first thing we want to talk about is the tires. The tires feel good. They don't feel unbalanced or anything like that in terms of how they work. They do feel different. There used to be a flat spot on the back of the other tire, and it gave me a little bit more confidence going straight because it kind of held me straight up. These they dip really easily, and that's not a bad thing. In fact, it's probably a good thing. But it almost feels like I'm slipping in the corners, and I might be because these are pretty knobby tires. So I feel like I have a lot of hookup when I turn, but it also feels like I'm kicking out dirt just a little bit when I do that, and it's just a different feeling. I'm not used to it, and it's been a long time since I've been out. It's been well over a month, a month and a half, and that's mostly due to the fact that it's just been so hot. Here in St. George, I mean, we've been hitting triple digits, 115 degrees, 114 degrees, 110 degrees consecutively for 3 weeks in a row. In July, it was just really hot. August hit, we just barely had a rainstorm come by, and it just dropped the temperature down into the 80s. It's like 87 degrees right now. So it feels so good, and I thought, well, let's just take this out. It's been a long time since we've kind of gone out and tried something. Ooh, I want to go that way. I just don't feel very confident in myself just yet, and especially not with these new tires. Man, they hook up really well in super soft sand though. My goodness, it's like I have a paddle on the back. Before I'd have to really spin out the back tire, and this just goes and just goes. So I like the new tires. The Tusk Dsport Adventure, my 7-mile review is, they're weird. They feel weird. But I like them. It's a good weird. It's just different weird. I like them a lot better off-road than I did on-road. On-road they felt kind of funky. Ooh, is this where we want to go? There's a little bit of water. I think this is it. Alright, let's just go. Very nice. I love that. Oh, it's been too long. Thanks for coming out with me. I don't like to come out alone, so appreciate you doing a ride along. Oh, super sandy. Again, the top is kind of crusty, and then it just turns into sand, sand, sand. All right. So this is where I wanted to go check out. There's a couple of roads that go up and over and around, and this is exactly what I wanted to check out. Ooh, super sandy. I need to practice and stuff like this. Remember to use the rear brake, not the front brake. That's important. Keeping it in second gear. Hopefully that's not an issue. Ooh, it's kind of all over the place. Ooh. Oh, I'm trying to stay in one spot. How do you... Oh yeah, gotta steer with my feet. Man, it's been a long time. Wow, that was really sandy. Really deep sand. Do I go up there? No, there's a fence. I don't know. Maybe I go over here. Let's go back through the super sand. At least it feels sandy. Maybe it's not sandy at all. Maybe I'm not digging in at all. Man, it just feels weird to me. It just feels like I'm all over the place. Oh, wow. Incredible. It's actually so much fun. but I feel like I'm hooking up pretty good. So anyway, swap the tires. They're good. I think we beat that into oblivion. Running at about 20 psi right now, and feeling okay. I probably should go down a little bit more. I just don't know how low to go. What do you guys think? I'm not running any, like, what do you call it? Ooh, that was nasty mud. Not running any type of wheel lock, whatever you call that. Not running any of that, just running a tube and a tire and holding it together with pressure and a dream. So I don't know how low I can go before that becomes an issue. I feel like 18 psi is about as low as I want to go. So I filled it up to, I think, 22 the other day. I checked it before I left, and I was around 20. And that's great because my front tire would not hold pressure with the other tire, like at all. I'd fill it to 20, and then it'd be 12 the next day. So it probably had some type of prick in the inner tube or something. Something wasn't super great. And it just doesn't happen with this new one. I don't know if that was because of the bent rim that we fixed or what, but we fixed all that, and now it's performing excellent. Now the one thing that I have another issue where every time I ride, I lose like my oil just kind of disappears. So one thing that I decided to do is there's this oil cap. I swapped the O-ring for the oil cap because I felt like I was losing oil out of the cap. Anyway, and then the other thing that happened is that my rear taillight went out. I just switched it. How long ago? Not long. Very, very recently. Like, as in 400 miles ago, I swapped it out. And it went out. One of the bulbs broke. And that was probably around the time that I was having the electrical issue. So I think it might have just shorted itself out, and then that was a problem. I'm actually starting a new campaign tonight. So what's it called? It's called an adventure instead of a campaign. So I enjoy playing Dungeons and Dragons. I started with 3.5. Well, it was D&D 2.0 is when I kind of got into it. Didn't play it a whole lot, and then 3.5 came out, or 3.0 came out, and that's when I started getting into it. And then 3.5 was when I really got into it with my friends, and we would take turns DMing or GMing, and we just had so much fun working out, or what we called working out, which was essentially just bench pressing down the basement of one of my friend's house, and then we'd play D&D, and it was super fun. I loved playing a monk. I had a monk, and then I didn't play a whole ton, to be honest. We played a couple of campaigns that lasted a couple of years, but I haven't played that many actual characters. Like, one of my friends, Ben, who I'm going to be playing with tonight, he is a veteran. He's played every class probably multiple times. He's been playing for decades. And not only does he have that under his belt, let's go check out over here. I just want to see what's up top. I can't talk while I'm climbing. I gotta put more memory resources to actually climbing this hill, because I'm not that great of a climber. All right, let's just focus on getting up this. It looks a little difficult for me. Whew, it's really high up there. So this is where the hookup comes in on the tires. Can I like start up? Before, on the other bike, this was extremely hard to get started once I stopped on something like this. I've got way more traction than I used to have. I almost lost that. I was bogging down. Woo! Wow! I'm at a fairly high pressure. on my tires. I know that. But my goodness, that climb was so much easier than on my other tires. Wow. That was incredible. Okay, so that really makes me feel like these tires are substantially better. Like quite a bit better than what I had before. Oh, is that where that goes? Can I get through there? Or is that something else? I think that's something else. Whatever. That's okay. That was amazing. I really liked that climb. And it felt good. I didn't feel like I was slipping at all. I was slipping a little bit because of the shale, but I felt in control. That was pretty incredible. I liked that a lot. I've been having a good time off-road. I actually felt like I was going to be less confident off-road than I was on-road, because the on-road experience is not as good as my other tires. And maybe I had more of like a 70-30 tire before, and this is more of like a true 50-50 tire. Like, these are definitely more aggressive than my other tires. And in the dirt, they feel amazing. But on the street, I don't have quite as much confidence as I did as with my other tires. And that makes sense. There's always going to be a compromise. You know, there's no perfect tire. There's no way you can do that. And I'm not asking my tires to be the perfect of both worlds. I would rather be a little squirrely on the road and then be fully confident off-road, because that's what I'm looking for. Okay, like there's D&D, and then there's a bunch of offshoots. There's Pathfinder, and then there's a bunch of other stuff that's more obscure that I don't really know anything about. Anyway, there's this one system called Worlds Within. It's actually coming out relatively soon. It's a super cool system where it's really easy to get into, because in D&D you've got a 330 page player's handbook, and you have a 250 page monsters manual, and then you have a 265 page dungeon master's guide from 3.5. You know, that's kind of the baseline. We really like this one called Worlds Within because it's super simple. It like frames your world and just focuses on roleplay quite a bit. So, and I got invited to play in an adventure tonight. So I'm super excited about it. I'm gonna play, and it's the first time I've played in probably 5 years. It's been a long time since I've played Dungeons and Dragons or anything, you know, a role-playing game. You know, Worlds Within, I guess. Man, how do I just let the bike go wherever it wants to go in the sand? Is that the trick? And you just hold on for dear life? Is that how it works? Because that's what it feels like. It feels like I just hit the go button, and then I point it in the direction that I want to go, and I kind of lean that direction, and sometimes it takes me the opposite direction because, you know, of ruts and all that stuff. Alright, somebody with more experience than me riding is going to have to... Seriously, let me know in the comments. I want to know. Because that's what it feels like. And I've watched a few YouTube videos of how to ride in the sand and stuff, and they essentially just say that. At least that's what I got out of it. And a lot of people who have done this a lot just say, if you want more confidence riding in the sand, ride in the sand. And that makes sense. You'll eventually figure it out. So maybe I'm making this more than it needs to be. Oh, it's cool. There's little like, puddles and stuff. I didn't realize it rained that much. It didn't rain a whole lot over at my place. Well, I guess it did, but it only rained for about a half hour, like really heavily. And when it rains here, it disappears so fast because we have such sandy, silty soil, and we have generally relatively good drainage, not a whole ton of clay. And I guess there's this stuff called blue clay that's in a bunch of places that's kind of nasty. So we have pockets of clay, but for the most part, a lot of it's just sandy silt. So when it's sandy silt, it just dries out super quick. But then you have these pockets where it's clay, then you have a lot of stuff hanging out there. Interesting. Anyway, Anyway, this has just been a super quick ride. I just wanted to see where this trail went. It's fairly close to my house. We are out in close to the Arizona Strip, not quite to the Arizona Strip. I do want to get out there and ride a little bit more as well. But man, I really wanted to test these tires out before I actually did something a little bit bigger and just see how they performed. Made sure that everything was set okay, and they look good, they feel good. I'm actually getting more and more confident by the second, the longer I'm off-road with them. They're starting to feel real good. I'm gonna go on that sand again. I do need to keep practicing in the sand, so here we go. Practice number 3. Let's try not to make a mess of things. And then on the way back, I kind of want to take that offshoot over there, see what's up. So I'm in first gear. I was in second gear and all the other times. Ugh. First gear feels harder. Why does first gear feel harder? Because the front end is not coming up as much? I'm just trying to hold on to the bike with my legs. That seems to be the case. If I just kind of guide it where I want it to go, it eventually goes that direction, but sometimes it takes a little bit of time. So let's try doing that same thing, but in second gear, about the same speed, and just see. Yeah, I can kind of make this fly out on the rear. It's really cool. But then I gain speed and start flying. It's like I'm a real dirt biker. I'm a real boy. All right, let's try this again. Second gear, same-ish speed. Trying to just hold on, use my legs to guide. Yeah, definitely don't want to steer. So the issue that I had before, I think I was just trying to steer with my handlebars. That was not going well. Whew, that was a really soft spot. And this isn't even the softest sand I've ever been in. Like, remember that sand up on Peekaboo Ridge? Whew. That stuff was amazing. Well, that was incredibly fun. I think we go out here. So that's it for today. Oh my God. Oh, there is no way I'm crossing that now. Wow, we just had a crazy flood. Am I gonna be stuck over here? Hope not. I'm definitely stuck over here for a little bit. Let's try and make it out this way without crossing the river. Not sure how to get out of here if I can't cross the river. Or am I gonna, should I try and cross the river? Just, I mean, that looked pretty deep. Yeah, when it just rains, you do have to be a little careful because, oh man, that's pretty steep. Look at that go. Look at that water. That's a lot of water. Like, that's flash flood water. I do not want to cross that. So I've got to stay on this side. So hopefully I could cross a real bridge and just stay on this side and go out. That's the plan right now. I'm not crossing that. That's way too much water. The crazy thing is it came so fast, and I guess that's where flash floods get you, right? They're just these tiny little streams, and then boom, you get hit. It doesn't look like a lot of water, but I can guarantee you that's quite a bit of water. It gets deep quick. It's really dangerous, these flash floodways. I don't even want to try forging that until I know how deep it is and all that. Yeah, I think there's a road over here. Then it goes under a bridge. Sweet. Oh, I was a little nervous about that for a minute. I was worried. I guess I could have gone back. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.